Right now we're in intermission. The first half of the program has already passed. And if you're now tuning in, which I'm not certainly sure why, but just in case you're now tuning in, you would have already missed out on, of course, David Barrow and friends. But they're the band, so David Barrow is going to stay on for the rest of it, right? But you did miss out on Swami, Temples, Chris Garcia, Dumpy, Black Sage, and of course, closing off the first half of the show, Chuck Gordon, former Monarch. They have crossed stage already. That don't mean you miss out on everything, eh? No. We still have Crazy to come. We still have Trinidad Rio to come. And you can't talk Kaiso if you don't talk about Relator. So he's still to come. But just in case you don't know why we're doing this show right now when Kaiso was Kaiso, actually it's a fundraising event. And we're raising funds for Hope of Miracle Foundation. Now, Hope of Miracle Foundation is an organization that exists right here in Trinidad and Tobago. It is an NGO existing for about 12 years, and what they do is that they help families and children, especially with medical expenses. I want to bring on the chairperson of Hope of Miracle Foundation. This is Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, good night, everybody.
Cindy, tell me a little bit about the foundation and some of the stories that you would have had that helped out, the persons you would have helped out, so we could know what exactly Hope of Miracle Foundation is about.
All right, well, Hope of a Miracle Foundation is a registered NGO in Trinidad and Tobago, and we help sick children gain medical access either locally or abroad. We have helped with over 100 surgeries for the past 12 years, and we still have people knocking on our door seeking financial assistance. So we need you to pledge and donate so we can keep this worthy cause going.
What are some of the alliances Hope of a Miracle Foundation have?
Well, we have our major alliance at the Jackson Health Foundation. They are based in Miami at the Jackson Memorial Hospital. And most of our children go to the Halls Children's Hospital right there in Miami. We also align with Cardio Infantil in Bogota. That is basically a very good hospital also, which we also use a lot of times once the children can't get visa for whatever reason. So we have that option always. But yes, most of them go to Miami.
What are some of the challenges that most parents face that some people who would not have personally experienced would underestimate or not actually think of?
Well, every parent that comes to us after they have gone through the whole process, they're always very happy, huh? Yeah. Because at the Jackson Health Foundation and at the hospital, let me tell you something, those people take our children in and treat them like their own. They make sure that they're looked after. If there are any problems, they're taken care of. They're never there, left alone, deal with it, not my problem. No, not at all. They stay at the Ronald McDonald's house, which is right there on the compound. So the parents are always close by to their child, when in hospital. Not only that, let me tell you something. When a child now comes out of surgery, the first night, the second night, a parent is allowed to stay with the child.
Oh, that's great.
And it's a state-of-the-art hospital, both in Miami and Colombia. We go and visit the institutions, to keep the contact, have a personal relationship with them, which is very important. So I don't think there's any complaint on that end.
Great. And tell us about the committee, because this is an NGO. And when you have responsibilities like this, a lot of people are concerned. Tell us about the committee and that transparency that happens with it. Because I remember you were telling me it's volunteers, right?
We are a group of ladies. We volunteer our time. We all have our jobs to do on the side. So we try to meet at least every week. Every other week, whenever we get a little time. Yeah. So what we have to do is raise funds. Yes. That's our main aim.
And that's why we're here this evening.
That's why we're here this evening to raise funds. So yes, donate.
All right, so I want to because our online viewers, I'm not sure if you are 100% aware of, if you want to make donations, regardless of what parts of the world you may be right now, there is a RBL account. And the number for that account is 110-215-385-331. Again, the account to make your donations, make your pledges, make your contributions, it's an RBL account, 110-215-385-331. But I'm sure there are other ways of reaching the Hope of a Miracle Foundation. what are some of the platforms that persons can reach out to you all at?
Well, we are very active on our Facebook page. So you can get onto Facebook, Hope of a Miracle Foundation. Our updates are there, all our account information, contact information, everything is there.
Right.
So yes, go
So,
to Facebook.
social media, check it out on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Cindy.
Thanks for having us, and let me tell you, this night is just great.
Yeah.
Having a ball, having a ball.
Cindy was there for the rehearsals as well. I almost thought you were going on stage to sing too, I thought you were part of the cast.
I don't want to clear out the room. I don't want to clear out the room.
All right, thanks again,
All right,
Cindy.
thank you.
All right, so keep viewing. We're going to take a very short break. We're live here at the Lions Cultural Center. You just met the chairperson of the Hope of a Miracle Foundation, Cindy. We're going to take a very quick break. Let's see if we can get one or two persons in the audience to get their feedback on the first half of the show. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I am Nigel Ward, known as Temples in the Calypso World.
Yeah, could you show?
We are here tonight in honor and aid of the Hope of a Miracle Foundation, singing a show when Kaiso was Kaiso. And basically speaking, the Hope of a Miracle Foundation is a foundation that takes care of sick children. And over the last 12 years, they've helped at least 100 children to have medical treatment in and out of Trinidad. So we're asking you here tonight, whilst we are performing for you, to please pledge to this foundation. It is such an important foundation. It could be your child. Please, right here on the screen, you will see the numbers of the account that you can pledge to. We ask you, please, enjoy the show.
Back live here at When Kaiso Was Kaiso. I have the beautiful Khadija Amin here with me. How are you, darling?
I am well, I am very well, and I'm happy to be here at the event.
Okay, so first half of the program going already, right? Tell me what you think about it.
I thought the performances were well coordinated, and the spirit and the vibes here, it's so nice.
Yeah.
I came this evening really because at the last moment our political leader,
Right.
who was scheduled to attend and really wanted to be here, couldn't because she got kept back. So I decided to come, and I'm so happy I came. I think the concept of the show is excellent, and of course it's for a good cause. So I'm familiar with the work of the foundation, and to me what the foundation is doing now is engaging citizens to contribute to Trinidad and Tobago. And that is actually the concept of the Children's Life Fund, which was founded by Kamala Prasad Bisesa as Prime Minister. And because I guess, well, now there are many children who don't have access to medical care through the Children's Life Fund. And now even more, the Hope of Life Foundation has a critical role in society. But it really, to me, it engages corporate, private citizens to do something good out of their heart, rather than depending on government.
And that's one of the issues that always happen. Every time there's a problem, we tend to go into this dependency mode. And here you have 6 volunteers coming together in the middle of them having their own jobs, forming this organization, this NGO, and doing this job for 12 years now. So yes, I 100% agree with you.
And the thing is, I have worked in many communities where you see children who really have a chance at life, but their parents cannot afford to overcome their medical challenge. So I want to commend the foundation and for them to continue their work. I really want them to continue their work and to continue to engage more and more people. And an event like this, it's a little unusual in terms of, it's not a typical fundraiser. And I say I like the vibe, I like the spirit. I have seen people from quite different walks of life.
Yeah, a lot of different people in the audience here today.
Yes, so I met some political colleagues who I have not seen for many years. We have sporting heroes, people from different walks of life.
Yeah, Hazley Crawford is sitting on right in the front there.
Oh yes, and I think it's good that people like them and like us are supporting these events, and I want to thank the circumstances and the organizers.
I know, because you were not supposed to be here. So look at you enjoying yourself here today.
Our political leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, really wanted to come. So I would not have been here if she had come. So while I'm happy to be here, I know I will convey, all that happened here, and I'm really happy to be here.
Definitely. Thank you very much, and enjoy the second half of the show.
I will.
So that's Khadija. I mean, thank you very much. We're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to bring on one more guest as we keep monitoring stage to see when we're heading back to stage side for Act 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This show is a show honoring the icons produced by the Hope and Miracle Foundation in order to help little children, sick children, foreign and local, who can't afford to pay the expense. That's it in a colloquial nutshell. And anything with a nature, anything to do with a show of this nature, I enjoy being a part of it. Because we're using the songs that shape, the song that we're using in this show is the song that shaped my life. The song that taught me that what textbook never teach me. And the most important lesson I learned from this song is seeing the funny side of life and learning to laugh at your adversities. And I learned that lesson from Lord Melody. Hence the reason why I choose a Lord Melody song.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve Neebs. We are live streaming. The show is When Kaiso Was Kaiso. Hope of a Miracle Foundation in aid of children who need operation abroad, assisting them financially. We would like you all to help.
All right, so we're back again, and this time the little square full. First of all, let's look here at Mr. Gold. How are you, sir?
Mr. Gold died in 1994.
Sorry,
I am
Temple?
Nigel Temples Gold.
Temples, right? Temples, you went on there and you real carry on yourself.
I try my best, always.
How you keeping up with guys like David Beru?
Listen, David Barrow and I have been singing against each other and with each other since 1985. So we are real good friends. I respect him highly. I can't class with him, but I can hold my own.
You can hold your own. And of course, we have here to the right of me, well, y'all met Cindy a little while ago, and we have here to the right of me, former President, Mr. Kamona. How are you, sir?
Well, I don't regard myself as former. I'm the 5th president.
That is correct. I stand corrected. Because, of course, your title can never be removed, huh?
Yeah. No, well, the thing is, in fact, the bottom line is that there's a lot to be done still. And I don't think, for example, that my demitting office puts me into some kind of situation where I simply lie down and play dead.
Absolutely not. As long as you're a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, every one of us have a responsibility to our country.
No, but more importantly, I view myself as an intellect with passion. Okay.
Now, how does this intellect find himself in an event like this?
Well, because I'm a Calypsonian.
Hey!
Because as much as in fact I made it to the semi-final in Skinner's Park many years ago.
Yes, Temples did mention that earlier.
Yeah, I was the Calypso King in Jamaica when I was a student there, and I also in fact won the crown when I was in Barbados. Nice. And I'm very passionate about the art form. I feel confident that there is a need to internationalize our Calypso.
Absolutely.
I feel, for example, we are selling ourselves short in not ensuring that we sell our product in a way that is viable. Yeah. Because, for example, I was talking to someone tonight and I said, listen, I'm going to try to convince Mr. Gold to ensure that next year, Carnival is on the 4th and 5th of March, that you all bring out a Calypso tent that will in fact engage and will invoke all Calypso of the past. And I can tell you, given what I've seen tonight, you do not need any governmental any governmental support. You can do it on your own.
Of course. What do you think about that?
Well, I tell you what, we all love the art form so much. I have always been banned from the tent from my wife, and whatever I say is semi-final. So I have to work on that one, but I would love nothing more than to do it. I don't know about David and Swami and the rest of our basic group, but I mean, when we have...
Listen, I think you all are good enough to push our art form, because listen, for the last umpteen years, I have been talking about the need to have a Calypso tent every single day of the year in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, you did tell us that in our initial meeting, yes.
Yeah. And it's not happening. And I feel, for example, you all have the capacity to make it happen. Have a Calypso tent, so when tourists come into Trinidad and Tobago, they can go to a Calypso tent and hear Calypso.
What a lot of people don't know also is that when these cruise ships used to come in, the president would leave his office and go down inside that little area down there and welcome the people to try to introduce the art form.
Ah.
As president, for the last 5 years, the press don't want to report it, but I'll tell you what I've been doing. When in fact tourists come to the botanical gardens, nobody's there to greet them. There's no calypso, nobody's selling our art form. I will go down there personally and tell them about our calypso, our history, our culture. And they'll say, you know, Mr. President, you must be working for the tourist board. I said, no, I'm not working for the tourist board. I'm working for Trinidad and Tobago. You know, yeah.
Nice. So as we get ready for the second half of the program, right? Still to come, we have Crazy, Trinidad Rio, and of course Relator. And what is not scheduled in the program is there's a nice little medley that's going to happen there. All the acts are going to come on stage. I am proposing here, Temples. There's I ain't saying that directly, but there's a gentleman that I know here.
He's as welcome as the day is long.
I ain't sure if he would come up, if he would volunteer himself, but I'm just putting it out there.
Tom Stephen, my partner, who is also the ex-president, former president's partner, is a great exponent of the art also, by the way. Tom could sing. He could sing.
And right now we're streaming not just in Trinidad and Tobago, here Australia. We have as far as Australia, Belgium, Miami. Oh, special hello to James
Agostini in Sydney, Australia, son of the great legendary Mike Agostini. James told me quietly on WhatsApp that the stream is coming through. He said his stream is coming through beautifully, and he says, and the presenter is very easy on the eyes.
Thank you, James.
No, but I can tell you something. One thing I'm concerned about, we have done a grave injustice to Lord Relator because he's the poet laureate of Trinidad and Tobago. And I can bet you 90% of the persons here are not aware of that.
Based on this audience, I think they're aware.
No, we are aware about Maya Angelou being the poet laureate of America. But we're not aware that Lord Relator is the poet laureate of Trinidad and Tobago.
That is something that I will make sure that David Barrow mentions before Bunny comes on.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Lord Relator is one of those who, and he is still with us.
And he taught me how to do it.
Really?
He taught me every song that I sang back in the 80s when David Barrow and I used to compete against each other with Marcy Miranda and that group. Bunny, Willard Harris, Bunny wrote every single song for David and myself and taught us how to write lyrics, how to render a song, and how to carry a song to the end of his tune.
To tell you how we're not serious as a people, I am convinced that given the content and the quality of Mighty Sparrow's music, that he should in fact be put forward as a possible Nobel laureate for literature. In the same way that America had put forward that folk singer, Bob Dylan, to in fact be the Nobel laureate. But listen, we need to get serious about who we are and the content of our persona. And listen, I can tell you, Sparrow has the content to match Bob Dylan any day.
Any day, anytime, anyhow.
No,
Facts.
Are you prepared to push it?
Oh, no. Listen to me. When it comes to pushing the culture, listen to me. When it comes to pushing the culture, there are so many things that are happening and people are so unaware of it. That's one. And one of the biggest issues too when it comes to pushing the culture, which is very important that we underestimate, is bridging that generational gap. Because it is underestimated that young people don't know calypso, are not interested, and they very much are.
I am not talking about pushing the culture in a generic way. I am talking about specifics. You should push Sparrow, nominate him to be the Nobel Peace Prize laureate for literature in Calypso. Push it, ma'am.
Tell him right there. Tell him push it. Tell him push it because we online. And how to push?
I am just the fifth president.
No. Just the fifth. Who says that? Who says just the fifth president?
What I'm saying is, in fact, I am talking about the Trinidad and Tobago culture.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
What I'm trying to tell you is, in fact, I am not into generic culture pushing. I am talking about specifics. When you look at Bob Dylan's music and you look at Sparrow music can match Bob Dylan any day. But why are we not pushing it? Why are you not pushing it?
Honey.
What I'd like to mention also at this point in time is the great Winsford Joker Devines, the writer of over probably 900 plus calypsos, many of which Sparrow sang himself.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong,
Yes.
Sparrow is my boy.
Yeah.
We are the Sparrow Committee.
Yes,
That's what we
yes.
call ourselves, the Sparrow Committee.
An incredible
But
entertainer.
when you have men like Winsford Joker Devines and certain other writers of the music,
Agreed.
we have to incorporate them.
Agreed.
It is a formidable argument. And when I said you, I'm not even talking about you personally.
I know.
In other words, we as a people need to push our people. And Joker Devines has been a phenomenal writer also.
Lovely human
Yeah,
being.
yeah.
Lovely human being. We did a show for him back in 2 years ago in the Country Club. It was an absolute sellout and it was amazing. People didn't even realize those songs were hits.
Just so you know, this is not the first time shows like this happening. David Barrow and friends, and of course the Sparrow Committee, they're always teaming up and doing these shows all the time. It's usually always well attended. And now we have, for the first time, we are taking and really penetrating that online audience. Because this is the direction of technology, and when it comes to attending events, this is the direction we're going.
And I want to thank you all for trying to internationalize our Kaiso. Excellent.
And one last little word, if I may. This lady here, Cindy Shutters, Hope of a Miracle Foundation. Anybody have a spare $1, $5, $10, $100, whatever it is, give to this foundation. These children are sick and some of them are dying, and without your contribution, they could be in some problems. So please, feel free to give. Spend $100 less at the bar one night and give it to the Hope of a Miracle Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
And keep up the great work.
I will try. I'm trying my best.
Miracle Foundation is what we're dealing with here. It's a company formed by Veteran Ramatal Singh and a couple of colleagues who have been very successful in helping the little boys and girls of Trinidad and Tobago who were born with various heart diseases, who have no chance in life to survive unless they get medical treatment abroad. And they have been doing this for about 10 years now and have managed to send over 100 children abroad, of which most of the operations were in fact successful. And we would like you all to give you all in support of this venture.
We are still here live at the Lions Cultural Center when Kaiso was Kaiso. I'm Jarell, and this is Chanel. I know it was getting a little confusing backstage, like before we came on. Chanel Barrow is actually the daughter of course, David Barrow. So, oh, girl, you probably rail crop along a lot of calypso.
Yeah, basically, 24/7. I would hear singing all time round. Yeah.
Now, real talk, do you listen to any other types of music?
Other than calypso.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, like you listen to that and you listen to calypso the same way, right?
Yeah.
Because we were talking before, and I was saying, it's a terrible misconception that young people, because Chanel and I are young people, hello, still way under 30, but young people don't listen to calypso and not interested in it. So what about calypso interests you, especially someone who can listen to calypso and listen to other things?
Honestly, it was inevitable for me to avoid it because my father was just always around calypso, you know, he would listen to it, he would practice it, he'd be singing it over and over, so I was kind of forced to like it, but at the same time too, being around it, I was like, you know what, let's see what is it that he likes so much, so I was like, let me investigate and see what it's all about, and there was actually one time I came to an event like this, and I heard a calypsonian perform, and I was like, wow. Do
you remember the song?
Yeah, it was actually Obia Wedding by Sparrow. So I was like, wow, I was thoroughly entertained, and after that I went home and my school actually had a school competition, calypso competition, and I was like, hey, let me learn this song, and then I just started listening to calypso after that.
Look at you!
So as I grew older, I got the appreciation for it.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I wasn't very appreciative of calypso. But
because in that case, it's like forced onto you almost.
Yeah, so after I had my own interest, and I was like, let me try it out.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the stories. I love stories. I love a story.
It's very entertaining. Like compared to how they would tell stories now, and music now is totally different. So. Yeah.
And the stories to laugh, stories to cry, stories that help you out in things that are happening in your life now.
Oh, so funny. And seeing the calypsonians perform it too, it makes it even greater, which is why I fell in love with it so much.
What has tell us a little bit about your dad when he's home and in his calypso zone. This is your only opportunity to bust files on David Barrow.
Well, David Barrow listens to nothing else but calypso. In the car, it's calypso. At home, it's calypso. He cooking in the kitchen, it's calypso. So, you know, when he has like,
turn it off?
how do you turn? Honestly, that's the question. How do you turn it off? So, like, if he has performances coming off, it's calypso after calypso after calypso. You know. So, as a person who appreciates it, I appreciate him practicing it. You know, because that's a passion of his.
Right.
So I appreciate the fact that he's so invested into something.
Oh, and then that means you would have had to come across a lot of artists and a lot of big musicians as well.
Yeah, he has so many archives of calypsonian songs that people have never heard before, which is why I appreciate the fact that he is in it, you know, because I'm able to have access to so many different forms of calypso. So it's something that I genuinely appreciate growing up as a calypsonian's daughter.
And of course, when as your daddy, you get to boast that my daddy's a calypsonian.
Yeah, something like that. I never really tell people, but you know.
What? I was walking around the place telling everybody.
Yeah, but honestly, like if I say hi, I'm Chanel Barrow, they'd be like,
Barrow?
Like, Barrow? You're not David Barrow? I'd be like, well, yeah, I'm his daughter. And then, you know.
That name's selling you out. It's selling you out.
Yeah, it really selling me out.
All right, so thank you very much, Chanel. Enjoy the second half of the show. All the best with you continuing to live with Daddy and that calypso. All right, so Chanel Barrow is here at When Kaiso Was Kaiso. And remember, if you want to make your contributions, you should. We're doing this for a cause. The account number to make your pledge, make your contribution, it's an RBL account, 110-215-385-331. Again, it's 110-215-385-331. It's an RBL account. Let me sneak a man on. My kisses.
Good afternoon, good evening, good evening.
How are you? Well, at this point, we don't know. It could be anything, you know, because we're all over the world.
Yeah, of course.
The power of live stream.
Of course. Yes, ma'am. How
Mr.
things?
Bruce.
Yes.
Myron B.
The only one it have.
It only have one Myron B?
No, well, one incredible Myron B.
Oh, that's why the incredible name is there.
Of course. How things?
I don't know. You tell me, how are things been since Carnival with your crown and all?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, it has been busy as usual. Right? You know, we always work. So, I just came from another event just to support the...
Always working.
Tonight. Yes.
Always working.
Yeah, so I ain't come to work tonight. I just came to support the initiative. Aww. And, I mean, it's a nice place to be. The show going good, everything nice. I mean, so, yeah, we're here to support the Hope of a Miracle Foundation. Yes.
Yeah. So do you plan on hanging around for the second half of the show?
Of course. Yeah, well, I wish later. So
I know you missed plenty, but let me tell you who coming on still. We still have Trinidad Rio. We still have Crazy, the lovable lunatic.
Uncle Crazy.
Uncle Crazy. All right. And then, of course, we have Relator, Lord Relator.
Real master.
Now, I know a Relator would have an effect on you.
Of course. I mean, he's one of the best entertainers that I think I've ever seen and ever had the privilege of working with. Yeah. And, I mean, he's a gentleman I love to see. So, I guess showtime now. So, all you come out, support, pledge, listen to the Kaiso, share the link, spread the news, let everybody know. And of course, check out Myron Bruce's page so we could, Myron B, the incredible Myron B page, so we can keep up to date with what's going on with you now. You should check my website, incrediblemyronb.com, and you'll get Facebook, Twitter, all the rest of all them things. There's just one place for everything.
We
right?
tech savvy wrong here, boy.
Yes, man.
So, thank you very much, Myron B.
Right? Enjoy the rest.
All right. So again, if you want to make a contribution, you want to pledge, it's an RBL account, 110-215-385-331. Make your contributions. As much as we love Kaiso and as much as we love Calypso and our culture, we are technically killing two birds with one stone, keeping the culture alive, enjoying ourselves and our culture, but also we are helping the Hope of a Miracle Foundation. Check out Hope of a Miracle Foundation on their Facebook page, and you have a lot of videos on there and stories that are being shared. Hope of a Miracle Foundation is a local NGO right here in Trinidad and Tobago. They've been existing for over 12 years. Volunteering committee of 6 persons, women who have their jobs but still here for the Calypso. Let's head stateside. Kaiso, when Kaiso was Kaiso, second half of the show is about to begin.
About